You're welcome to sing along here. Say it's alright, it's alright, yeah, it's alright, yeah. It's alright to have a good time, yeah, it's alright, oh, it's alright. We're gonna move it real slow when the lights are low. When you move it slow, it sounds like more, yeah, 'cause it's alright, yeah, it's alright. Now listen to the beat, kinda move your feet. You got soul, and everybody knows, yeah, it's alright, oh, it's alright. When you wake up early in the morning, feeling sad like so many of us do, hum a little soul, make your life your goal. Surely something's gonna come to you, yeah, 'cause it's alright, it's alright, yeah, it's alright. It's alright to have a good time, yeah, it's alright, oh, it's alright. Come on and clap your hands, yeah, clap your hands, 'cause you got soul, everybody knows, yeah, it's alright, oh, it's alright. One more time, it's alright, oh, it's alright. It's alright to have a little fun, yeah, it's alright, oh, it's alright.
All right, so welcome one and all. How are you doing? Nice in the front row, in the splash zone. That's right. Yeah, we keep meaning to make those chairs blue, but we don't get to it. All right, so it's wonderful to have you all with us here today. So welcome new friends and longtime friends, and those of you joining us online, maybe for the first time. So welcome. My name's Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the senior minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California, which is located in the North San Fernando Valley. We are a faith community committed to honoring all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. And so if you are joining us for the first time, make sure you subscribe or make a commitment to come in and meet some really fine folks here in the room if you're local. So today we're blessed to have as our musical inspiration the wonderful Teresa James. And our presider this morning is Andrea Recht. And I'm really delighted to have for our guest speaker this morning, Reverend Amadi George Hines. And we'll hear from Reverend Amadi here in a moment. But until then, as we batten up the hatches, or batten down the hatches, we good? Yeah. All right, so let's just take a deep, conscious breath together. As we release, allow ourselves to anchor into this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. That fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience which we honor here this morning. So as we light the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for Shema. What is that sound?
I'm so sorry. It's my search and rescue notification that I have a call out.
Oh,
So
okay. So, yeah, can you, you know, I kind of like this. I'm going to get this implemented into the church for when we need someone to be of service. Your phone will just go off.
and it'll keep going.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, Andrea, one of her callings, many callings in life, is with search and rescue. So that's what we are hearing. So let's just take another deep breath to re-anchor and release. As we acknowledge that all people, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. And so we are now lighting a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, for the space we hold for them here within our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. As Andrea lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone who wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
And so how grateful I am for this opportunity to just be here now and be present to the eternal nowness of this moment, where I can anchor deeply into my own awareness that there is one power, one presence, one life of all, and no other power exists outside of the infinite. One power, one life. One infinite intelligence that is expressing itself as the entire manifest universe. I know that this intelligence, this presence, this light, this love is everywhere expressing itself, always and in all ways. And because I know it's everywhere, I know that it's right where I am. Right where I am, infinite intelligence is expressing itself in this unique way. I know this same truth for each of us here and each of us that has gone on to the beyond, the great beyond. And in this consciousness of oneness, in this place of deep awareness and unification, I take this opportunity to simply bless this morning's service, blessing each of us present, each of us watching online, blessing Reverend Mike and our guest speaker as they come forward and speak to us the word of truth that lifts us and renews us so that we can go forward in love and rejoice in joy at all that is. And for this, I remain thankful and grateful as I lovingly release this word to that aspect of infinite intelligence that we call law, which automatically and always says yes. So I know it is done. I know it is so. And in agreement, please join me in affirming this by saying together, and so it is. I'm so sorry for that little digression. I do search and rescue as a side gig. And I guess there was something that they wanted me to be aware of. Oh, a missing 82-year-old. So maybe I'll have a chance to go searching later, but not right now, because right now I'm here with you, and I'm happy to be here with you.
Do we have any new visitors who are 82 years old?
Any 82-year-olds that wandered in? So I'm house sitting and dog sitting at my daughter's in Burbank just for one night, last night. I was there Friday night and last night, and I'll go back there after service today and pick up my dog. So it's my dog and my daughter's dog. The grandkids aren't there, so they're worse than the dogs. But I was sitting outside. My daughter has a small yard, and this dog that she has, she's only had this dog for 3 weeks. And so my dog is just meeting this dog for the second time. And they really like each other now. At first, my daughter's dog was snarling at my dog, and my dog's twice the size of her dog. But they've come to really enjoy each other, and they run around in the backyard. And before church today, I was sitting in the backyard watching them play. And they were just full of joy. You know, they were just so happy to be together and running around. And my dog, like I said, is probably 65 pounds, and her dog's maybe 30 pounds, maybe. So my dog's much bigger than her dog. And I was watching how they were accommodating each other. I mean, my dog could easily hurt her dog, but he was, you know, he's holding back so that he can just have fun with her and not hurt her. And I was thinking about all the emotions that we get to experience in this human dimension. Joy, for sure, hopefully we get to experience, right? Not necessarily chasing each other around and biting each other, but maybe sometimes, I don't know. But you know, we also get to experience sadness and fear and doubt and worry. Hopefully more joy than the other things. But I realize that being in spiritual community now, I think coming on 12 years, I'm here in this community, we see people cross over to the other side of the veil. And that's part of what we get to experience as having this human experience. I really believe that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and in the human experience, we get to experience loss. And I was thinking about Rosalie and Chloe, and Rosalie's husband and Chloe's dad, who just recently crossed over to the other side of the veil. And I was thinking about Bob and Karen and Judy Dunkley, who's came up on Facebook the other day. Today's Judy Dunkley's birthday, and I was like, happy birthday, Judy, in the great beyond. And how we get to, as spiritual community, we get to wrap our spiritual and literal arms around our beloved Rosalie and Chloe, as Chloe's being held, even in the back of the room now, being held by Nancy, you know. We just get to hold these people close as they adjust, right, to life without their beloved. As I watch the dogs adjust to accommodating each other's size, we get to adjust. And we get to hold each other up during that adjustment. So I'm sorry, I'm probably going over, but I don't see the red light yet. So I was thinking about, you know, eternality and immortality, and I pulled this up from Ernest Holmes, so bear with me as I read something from the textbook. I mean, look at this textbook here. This is, you know, 30-some years I've been referring back to this. So Holmes says this, I don't know, glasses, no glasses, can I see, can I not see? It is human to grieve over the loss of dear ones. We love them and cannot help missing them. But a true realization of the immortality and continuity of the individual soul will rob our grief of hopelessness. We shall realize that they are in God's keeping and they are safe. We shall know that loving friends have met them and that their life still flows on with the currents of eternity. We shall feel that we have not lost them, they have only gone before. So we shall view eternity from the higher standpoint as a continuity of time, forever and ever expanding until time, as we now experience it, shall be no more. And then this very brief poem. When death shall come and the spirit, freed, shall mount the air and wander afar in that great nowhere, it shall go as it came, freed from sorrow, sin, and shame, and naked and bare through the upper air shall go alone to that great nowhere. Hinder not its onward way, grieve not over its form of clay, for the spirit, freed now from clod, shall go alone to meet its God. So safe travels, Alex. We love you, Rosalie and Chloe, and thank you all for being here.
Watch the news, read the paper. Seems like this whole world's gone bad. Listen to the lies and gossip. It's just enough to drive you mad. Little things can change the world. A smile can go a long, long way. We've just got to seize the moment and change today. There ain't no difference in each other. One light shines on every color. We're just flesh and blood, living in a spirit world. Watching all the boys and girls, we can learn a lot from children. It's a better world they're living day by day. I have heard the longest journey begins with just a single stride. We can get to where we're going side by side, and there ain't no difference in each other. One light shines on every color with just flesh and blood, living in a spirit world. And we'll never get across that river unless we learn to live together. So let's all join hands and try living in a spirit world. And there ain't no difference in each other. One light shines on every color with just flesh and blood, just living in a spirit world, living in the spirit. Living in the spirit world.
Teresa James, thank you for that beautiful song, and thank you for being such a beautiful light. Yes, Teresa James. So if you're new here, I'm not sure. Is anybody here for the first time? You. Welcome. We're happy you're here. We hope that you find it acceptable and to your pleasure, and that you will find this is a safe place to land. And we're glad you're here with us today. And you, of course. Welcome.
Hopefully not the last.
Hopefully. So I'm going to share some announcements with you. First of all, practitioners are available today for a 2-minute tune-up in the treatment room in the front. If you're a licensed practitioner, could you let us know? Thank you. We've got a couple of you here today. Wonderful. Also, you can find a practitioner online at CSLGH.org. Now, we have an important event coming up on March 17th. It's our general annual membership meeting on Sunday, March 17th. So please mark your calendars. There's a list of current members in Sparks Hall on the board right opposite us here. So go check to make sure you're a member. Check your name off on the list if you see it there. And if you're not a member, but you want to be able to vote at the general membership meeting, then let one of us know. We'll give you a membership form. You'll fill it out, and you'll be a member. It's really simple. We're not going to ask anything crazy of you as a member. You'll get discounts on classes, and you'll just be able to bring your gifts to us in a different kind of way. So we're happy to have you as members. Also, after the meeting, we will have a potluck, and there is also a sign-up sheet out on the wall there also for something that you'd like to bring and share with us at the potluck. Today, we have a discovery class right after service at noon till 2 o'clock, and that is for our currently new members. Hey, if you fill out a membership form, you can come to the general membership meeting, the discovery class today. It is a requirement for new members, and it's offered as a gift to you at no charge as a way to learn more about us and the teaching. Children's beginning drums and beginning guitar, theater, Tai Chi, and meditation are ongoing and open. If you'd like to sponsor a child, you can. You can contact Reverend Nikki or Melissa in the office. What happened? What'd I miss? Oh. Also, the mentally equivalent class with Reverend Mike and Eric is ongoing. Tuesday, February. So sorry. Another one? Or the same one. I said no, I'm sorry. But I better turn that off or it's going to keep on doing that. Okay, so let's do the Declaration of Principles. The call out was canceled. See? One universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us.
We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who
Recognizes this presence. We believe that our faith operates through a law of mind, which automatically manifests our experience according to our faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
Y'all help me sing this. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be.
All right. So I'm delighted that you could all make it in today. So for those of you who don't know Reverend Amadi, he's currently connected to the Triangular Church, Center for Spiritual Living, but started out as a Triangular Church of Religious Science. I think the first African-American religious science community, if not the first, one of the
One of
first.
the first, for sure.
Here in Los Angeles. And we also have a connection with the senior minister down there, Reverend Brenda Woods. Mike's been down there a few times to help them get their, maybe you didn't know this, to help them get their own audio-visual stuff going on. So, you know, he's a have screw gun will travel kind of guy. And so we have a connection with the community in that way. So I first heard Reverend Amadi speak as I was representing the region at, I guess he would be, was he your initial teacher?
He was one of my mentors.
Yeah,
Reverend
one
Greg,
of his,
Reverend Greg Pitts.
Reverend Greg Pitts, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he was quite the thing back in the day. And a mover and a shaker in the movement, and I just really appreciated what Reverend Amadi had to say that day, and I wanted you guys to hear him as well. So please, let's give a nice, warm Granada Hills welcome to Reverend Amadi Hines.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, it is certainly a pleasure and an honor, really, to be here. Thank you, Reverend Michael, for inviting me. And I'm just really glad to share. It's just a beautiful thing to come together and to, in the spirit of love, as the song was saying. So I just really consider it to be an honor. And so I'm going to be tying my message to the monthly theme, Divine Discomfort. And so that theme is appropriate for Black History Month and really anybody's history, because history has shown us that there is no progress without discomfort. And we all know that change is not comfortable. So we must move forward in spite of and because of the circumstances we face in life. In my ministry, I have learned, and I'm sure Reverend Mike can attest to this, that you gotta deliver the mail, even on a bad day. And so this is true in ministry, and it's true in life. We must persevere through the adverse conditions that we face in life to do the work that must be done to fulfill the mission. And so the title of my talk today is Working Through Adversity Together. So in honor of Black History Month, I want to take this time to acknowledge the African cultural heritage that people of African descent have inherited. Excuse me, move this over here a little bit. All groups have contributed to the progress of the world. Race is a false construct because we really are not that different from each other. What is more significant is our cultural background and heritage, and that shapes our orientation and approach to life, our cultural background and heritage. We are indeed spiritual beings, having a human experience while living in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual laws. That is our true spiritual identity. Understanding this allows us to look beyond the conditions of our lives, to see the unlimited potential that's inside of us and the infinite possibilities that are in front of us. So in that sense, we all are one, striving for empowerment so that we can live fulfilling lives. As Emma Curtis Hopkins says, there's good out there and I ought to have it, right? That's a famous quote in our movement. So I have found that there is much value in searching out and studying our cultural roots. Our cultural identity is related to our historical roots and group identity. Elements of culture are the way we interact with people, our thinking, values, music, practices, rituals, customs, the way we dress, what we like to eat, and our societal roles. My life was transformed when I got in touch with my African roots. I call it awakening to my African self. I had already awakened to my spiritual self, so my cultural awakening actually deepened that awareness. Among other things, I seek to represent my African cultural roots in the way I dress, express myself, and in the choices that I make. So I was wearing a red, black, and green hat with an image of Africa on it while shopping, and the cashier asked me if I was an African. I told him, yes, I am an African American, and our roots are from Africa. Then I said, I bet you know your roots. Where are your people from? And he answered, yes, my family roots are from Germany. Then he said, I get it now. I see what you're doing. It's good for everyone to know about their roots. So he intuitively sensed something that we all know, but don't consciously think about. And that's something that's something that's inside of us that longs to make a connection with our family history. And the farther back we go, the more fulfilling it will be. This connection allows us to get a sense of where we fit in a larger story, which is the story of our ancestors. And so cultural awareness grounds us in a deeper sense of self and gives us a higher level of confidence in our personal interactions. The Jewish community is an example of a group that emphasizes their cultural heritage. And I believe that it has helped to empower them individually and collectively. So my cousin did an ancestral search for our family, and I found out that my family roots go back to Nigeria. So I encourage all of us to learn about and identify with our cultural heritage. Make it a positive and not an exclusive endeavor. Let's be for something and against nothing. So so it's about loving yourself, embracing yourself. Not that you're against anyone else, it's just that you appreciate your own uniqueness and your own story. So just as we study various cultures such as Native American and Oriental cultures to enrich our lives, let's remember to value the most ancient of cultures, which is African culture. So I'm going to talk a little bit about African culture for those who may not know much about it. So during African American Black History Month, it's important to note that Black people have a rich cultural heritage that did not start in slavery, but extends back for thousands of years in Africa. The 400 years, which included slavery and its subsequent oppressive measures, is just a blip on the screen of our rich and glorious history. Understanding that allows me to contextualize the enslavement experience of my ancestors and see it as part of the larger historical journey of a people. I don't call my enslaved ancestors victims. I call them survivors. Their minds were not imprisoned by their circumstances. It is important that we all celebrate our history, which includes the greatness of our ancestral heritage. Studying your history allows you to glimpse into your future and see the vision of the ultimate triumph of your efforts for liberation and fulfillment. So today I want to point out some of the accomplishments that Black people have made as a group. We all know that the DNA of every human being can be traced back to Africa. African people were indeed the first people. So in that sense, we're all Africans. From my perspective, the earliest civilization started in Africa. The ancient Egyptian civilization was founded by Africans, the Nubian Cushites, who migrated down the Nile River from Ethiopia and Sudan. They built the pyramids and temples that we still visit today. In fact, there are more pyramids in Nubia, which is Ethiopia, Sudan, than in Egypt. Most of them got submerged when the Suez Canal was constructed. The Greek temples were modeled after those in Africa. The oldest medical treatise, the Edwin Smith Papyrus, was found in Africa. Perhaps the oldest document on advanced mathematics, the Rhind Mathematical Papyrus, was discovered in Africa. And did you know that New Thought and the science of mind have roots in Africa? The Shabaka stone is the earliest documented text regarding the creative word, or the logos, as the Greeks called it. It is the oldest reference to the idea that thought is creative. It was an ancient stone document found and restored by a Nubian pharaoh, Shabaka, in 760 before the Common Era. And so this is an excerpt from the Shabaka stone. The seeing of the eyes, the hearing of the ears, and the breathing of the nose are communicated to the heart and mind. And the heart and mind cause all perceptions to come forth. What the heart and mind think and wish is declared by the tongue. Thus, by means of the word, all faculties and qualities were fashioned and created, which furnish all food and yield all nourishment, according to the command which is conceived by the heart and mind and brought forth by the tongue, which creates the usefulness and action of everything. And so that's the earliest reference to the idea that our thought is creative, our word actually takes form. So that ancient commentary on the power of the spoken word is called The Creation of Ra Espata, and it was taken from a book on ancient Egyptian literature called the Hosea, which was translated by Dr. Maulana Karanga, the creator of Kwanzaa. So when we learn about the greatness of our ancestors, it informs us that we too can accomplish great things. We can't fully know who we are until we know where we are from. As we affirm the spiritual truth about our lives, we don't want to be unaware of the facts of our experiences and of our history. We all partake in the rich cultural heritage of America, which is called a melting pot. In my eyes, what makes America uniquely special is that it is the only country that I know of that was founded on the spiritual principle that all people are endowed with inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness by the Creator and not the government. I haven't been able to find one other country that has this codified, in their founding documents. So that makes this a special place. It's a special place where freedom is celebrated in a very profound way. And so I'm saying let's work together to bring all our gifts to the table to address the current chaos that is facing the world. We must find a way to alleviate the military, cultural, and political wars that are raging in the world and in our society. We must find common ground in a diverse society. The basis of life is freedom, and the purpose of life is joyful self-expression. If we really want to build a world that works for everyone, we can learn from the stories of our ancestors and each other's stories, and together build a better society. The study of history allows us to learn from our past so that we can eliminate what didn't work and build on what did work. I think that we should celebrate our cultural and ethnic distinctions, and then work together across our cultural differences to create that world that works for everyone. The African concept called Sankofa tells us to look back to move forward. A Ghanaian proverb says, "It is not taboo to go back and fetch what has been forgotten." And so this is the Sankofa bird, which is a bird that's looking back while it's moving forward to reflect the fact that we have to learn from the past to better deal with the future and then to better deal with the present and then plan for the future. And so there are spiritual principles that we can master that will lead us out of any adversity we may encounter. One such principle is called the law of compensation. It is articulated in the book Working with the Law by Raymond Halliwell. I don't know if any of you have heard it. You probably read it. You never heard of that? Working with the Law, which in essence tells us that if you want more, you must become better. We attract to ourselves only what we have earned in consciousness. Only when we have ceased to recognize a condition will we cease to attract it. The person who becomes better will attract better circumstances and will be given greater things to do. When you become too large, this is the key to how it works. When you become too large for your present place, you will begin to draw to yourself something larger. You cannot attract the better until you first become larger. And so this principle tells us that we must expand in whatever situation we find ourselves, and thereby being moved from where we are to where we want to be. And it's not just expanding in terms of your abilities and your performance, it's expanding your perspective and your perception. So you're thinking bigger, seeing bigger, expecting bigger. And so the whole strategy is that you want to outgrow your space. If you're not where you want to be, just work on yourself till you can outgrow your space. And this is the formula that I used for promotions in my past career in civil service. I kept working to improve myself and expand my perspective, and that's how I was able to get several promotions. And so in the book, The Growing Edge by Howard Thurman, he speaks about the growing edge where life is expanding beyond the limits of what has been and appears to be. It is that place where hope springs eternal. And so on page 178 of that book, The Growing Edge, he said, no experience, no event at any particular moment in time and space exhausts what life is trying to do. There's always a growing edge. At the time when the slaves in America were without any excuse for hope, and they could see nothing before them but the long, interminable cotton rows and the fierce sun and the lash of the overseer, what did they do? They declared that God was not through. They said, we cannot be prisoners of this event. We cannot scale down the horizons of our hope and our dreams and our yearnings to the level of the event in our lives. So they lived through their tragic moment until at last they came out on the other side, saluting the fulfillment of their hopes and their fear and their faith, which had never been imprisoned by the event itself. This is a powerful American story because people of goodwill made emancipation happen. And so Howard Thurman was telling us that there's always more to life than what appears on the surface. And we can reach for it and transcend the discomforts, challenges, and obstacles we face, no matter how bad things seem to be. And so this applies to each of us individually, no matter what ethnicity we may be. We always have to look beyond the appearances, as I'm sure you all know, to a bigger idea. Because the answer that we're looking for is really just an idea away. It's really, you're probably closer than you think. It's just maybe some minor adjustments. And you can begin to step into that experience that you're looking for. And so I think we can use the example of the resilience of the enslaved Africans to inspire us today as we seek to untangle the chaos that seems to have engulfed the world. Let's look beyond the appearances to God's perfect idea for the situations we are facing. Let's celebrate who we are spiritually and culturally and find unity in the midst of diversity. We don't have to have the same philosophical or cultural orientation in order to speak truth to each other and come in agreement for the healing of the world. To create a world where everyone is included and no one is excluded. Let's work through adversity together as we create a world and a better society by becoming better people. Peace and blessings. Thank you. Thank you.
Isn't it a pity? And isn't it a shame? How we break each other's hearts and cause each other pain. How we take each other's love without thinking anymore. Yeah, isn't it a pity? You know, some things take so long. Tell me, how do I explain when not too many people can see we're all the same? And because of all their tears, their eyes can't hope to see the beauty that surrounds them. Yeah, tell me, isn't it a pity? Isn't it a pity? Isn't it a shame how we break each other's hearts and we cause each other pain? How we take each other's love, then we close and lock the door, forgetting to give back. Yeah. Isn't it a pity we keep forgetting? Isn't it a pity we need to remember? Isn't it a pity?
Reese James, everyone, let's give him some more love. And let's give some love to Reverend Amadi while we're in the mood. Nice job, Rev. Thank you very much. Oh, I got to use this mic. So Chloe, you want to bring the basket up? So as we prepare our gifts for the offering, Teresa will bring us into our offering song. Welcome to bless the basket also, if you like.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit gives and breathes through us. Oh, yes, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Oh, Spirit lives and breathes through us.
So take a breath with me. Going within for just a moment longer as we recognize this basket represents both the heart of the individual, the generous heart of the individual, the receptive heart of this spiritual community. The generous heart of that individual who knows and knows that they know that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so as this spiritual community, we accept these gifts by whatever avenue your generosity finds itself to the center, either through the mail, through online giving, or here in person. That all of it, that we receive all of it with deep love and appreciation, as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only this center for spiritual living, but anyone connected to it in any way, that we extend a blessing upon our community. From this place of gratitude, we extend a blessing upon our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them. That we know for our planet as well, that all of it is an emanation from the living spirit, the creative impulse of life, the wellspring of love. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see its demonstration in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts and propels us into ways of spiritual living that's raised not only our own lives, but the lives of those around us as well. And that's a good thing. And together we can acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So please help me thank Teresa James one more time. And for those of you joining us online, I hope you chatted her up, chat a little love up. Also, Teresa is going to be playing on the 29th. Is that Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Thursday night. So at the Ireland's 32, which is in, what's that called now?
It's got a new name, Van Nuys. It's Van Nuys.
Okay, anyway, it's a fun Irish pub, and I helped pay the mortgage there for a few months back in the day. All right, and so let's give some love one more time for Reverend Amadi Hines. And I've asked Reverend Amadi to come pray us out today.
Okay, well, let's just turn within right now, just giving thanks for this wonderful opportunity just to come together in community, knowing that as we gather together, that our faith is multiplied and that we are guided and directed and blessed having been together. And so I just speak this word now, that as we leave this place, that we go forth, guided, directed, protected, and supported by the divine. And that the light that shines forth in here, we just carry it with us and bring a light wherever we go. And so I just give thanks, knowing it's unfolding perfectly and in divine order. I let it be, and so together we say, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. If you guys would like to stand and join a circle or just sing along, whatever you like to do.